welcome back. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to sow a few seeds. I'm not going to get too crazy because we're not past our frost date yet. I'm just going to use the template that I used for my fall garden, and everywhere that things have died, I'm just going to go back and fill it in with the same template, and then when the weather gets warmer, I'll tear this stuff out and I'll put it in my summer crop. Alright, these greens that you see along the edges here, these are the only things that survived over the winter. I didn't cover them at all. If I had done a better job covering things, probably a lot more would have survived. So this is Bloomsdale spinach here, and this is the Gigante or gigantic spinach. Pretty sure this is Galilee spinach. And then what's left of the parsley. And this is also the Gigante spinach. And Gigante spinach. So I'm going to use my grid here and fill back in what's missing using the square foot gardening method.
Did you find out what species these ones are?
Okay, that's going to do it for today. Just these two beds, and then I'll come back and do more as I feel like it. Hi. This is several days later, I'm not sure how many, and it's been raining for several days, and there's a lull in the rain right now, so I'm going to try to go out and plant as much as I can according to my little map, which I left down there in my bag. I'm going to plant as much as I can of that, but it looks like it's going to rain again, so I'm going to leave you up here on the porch in case the rain starts so you don't get damaged, and we'll just set up as a time lapse and go plant. plant this garden and get it ready for all of my transplants to come in. Good job. Shake the dirt off a little. Yeah, now you put it in the basket.
Actually, let's take a video of those seeds.
Oh, of the seeds? Okay.
Yeah. Look at all the seeds.
There we go. Cool, huh? Okay, I got all the hooks taken down from the trellis. Rolled up. All of the weeds pulled. Those are volunteer flowers, so I left them. They're like calendula. Bed's all cleaned up, mounded up. I don't know if you can see the mound from that angle. Ready for tomatoes. This is the asparagus bed. I've got some asparagus crowns in there, soaking in some water. So I'll make little mounds everywhere there's going to be a crown. And then I'll fill the trench back in a little bit. And then after the crowns pop up and start sprouting, then I'll fill it back in all the rest of the way. Here are the asparagus crowns. Soaking in water. I'm going to let them soak overnight. And then I'll plant them tomorrow and show you how that's done. Here's the tomato seedlings, herbs, peppers, more tomatoes. They're all gonna go in that garden out there that I just cleaned out.
This is as good a day as any to start the rebuilding of life. The road.
Hi, today we're in the garden. I'm gonna put my transplants in. I'm running several weeks late on this, but luckily I have a nice long growing season. I should still have plenty of time for everything to come to full harvest, so I'm gonna go ahead and just get it in the ground.
The roads that lay open are many when the old one's gone under the knife. And I can feel the sun on my skin, beginning to thaw from within. Today and not tomorrow.
Let me take you and show you what's going on. Okay, here's what I've got going on. You can tell from this angle. I've got trenches dug down the middle. Of course, I'm standing in an ant pile. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Got trenches dug down the middle of each one of these rows. Ouch! Ants, 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 so many ants. Okay, try that again. I've got trenches dug down the middle of each one of these rows. It's kind of inspired by my asparagus bed over there that I'll show you in a few minutes. This is where all the tomatoes are gonna go. And then once all the tomatoes are gone, I'll figure out what else I have room for. These pots right here, these big black ones, that's where my tomatillos are gonna go. These boards, I'm just laying out a border for something I have in mind. Let's go look at the asparagus bed. Oh, my feet are burning from all the fire ant bites. Ouch, 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 ouch. This is the asparagus bed. So I have 20 asparagus crowns that I'm gonna plant in this trench here. And then it'll give me asparagus for the next 20 years. I take care of it. But that kind of inspired my thought process for those over there. I put 1 scoop of this in with every plant. I didn't realize I was running low, so I didn't buy any more, so I won't have enough to make it through all of them. Here's the little scoop. Comes on the inside. The smaller side is for smaller plants, the bigger side is for bigger plants. I just put 1 scoop per plant. The main difference between what I'm doing this year and what I'm doing last year is the spacing. Last year I put one per square foot on every side, so I ended up with 32 tomatoes per bed. This year I'm going half that. So I'm doing one every other square foot per side, so it will be kind of diagonal. I think that's how it's gonna work out. I'm gonna lay them out and space it out and see how it works out. But
There's no time to borrow. Today is a good day to live. This morning has so clear a light as any to see the horizon in the far. Excuses were 2 for a penny, but they've all gone out the window of this car. And when I feel the wind on my face.
okay, next afternoon, I wanted to show you a close-up here, show you what I did differently from last year. Last year I put a tomato plant in every square. This year I'm going every other square. Give them a little more space, see how they do versus last year, and I'll tell you what I think at the end of all of it. I waited another day just because I wanted to harden them off a little bit more, and I got worried about them, so I watered them a whole bunch today, and I'm hoping they'll make the transplant without too much damage. So we're just gonna start.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know, if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down. Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know, if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down.
Good morning. Next day, same objective. Let's see if I can get all the tomato plants in the ground out here before the sun hits the garden. So that's what we're gonna do. Something's been eating my tomatoes. Okay, I finally got all the tomatoes in. The sun caught me some, but it'll be fine. Now I'm gonna go water them all in, make sure that they're not thirsty, and go from there. All right, they're all watered in. Some of them are flopped over and wilted and looking pretty sick, but that's pretty normal for tomato transplants. So hopefully they'll perk up within the next couple of days. The ones that I planted last night are already looking better. So hopefully these won't get too hot today in the sun, and then they can perk up overnight, and then they'll be good tomorrow. I'll come back out and water them again tonight. And then it's time to work on the asparagus bed. Okay, so here's the asparagus bed. I've got 20 asparagus crowns that I'm gonna spread out through here as evenly as I can. It's a 30-foot bed, so roughly every 1.25-foot-ish. But first, since it's been an exceptionally dry season this year, I'm gonna let the water run in the hopes that it will go all the way down. And then after that's done, I'm gonna bring in some soil and make mounds to position the crowns over, and I'll show you that when I get to it. Okay, we're back out here. I have my helper with me, Dylan. So we're gonna plant these asparagus crowns every 1.5 feet, and we're gonna make a mound for each one. Okay, so Dylan's making up her mounds here, and I'll show you what I'm gonna do. Okay, I decided to save the mycos for the asparagus because the asparagus is gonna last me the next 20 years, and the tomatoes are only gonna last me this season. So the asparagus won. So I'm going to sprinkle it directly on the roots since I don't have very much. Basically, that's going to feed the microbiome of the plant. The good bacteria that make it healthy and strong.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Now, you can see, here's one of the crowns. And you see how the roots come down and they're kind of at a triangle. They look kind of like an octopus. They grow down. Well, I don't want to flatten those roots out like that and take the possibility of breaking them. So you make these little mounds. And the way asparagus grows, it grows in a runner. So it's going to grow side to side. So it looks like the new runner is coming out this side. So I'm going to plant it on that mound because I want it to grow this way, not this way. So I'm going to plant it like this and spread its little tendrils out over this mound, just like this. And then I'm going to come back later and I'm going to bring that soil and put it over the top.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
Okay, I just happen to have a couple of bags of topsoil, about five or six bags of topsoil left over from a project that I did last year. So I just put those on top. If I hadn't had that, I would just move the stuff on the outside back in, but I did it that way. I like the way it looks. It looks nice and clean. I know where my asparagus are. I like that. And then I watered them in really well. I'll come back again tonight when it cools off some and water them in again. That's it for this morning. I'm gonna go in and take a break for a while. Looky, looky. First baby's coming through. It's the only one I see so far. That's exciting. So when those start coming up, I'm just gonna leave them for the first 2 years. And then the 3rd year, harvest all I want. See all my asparagus? All 20 of our crowns came up. Hi. As I was editing, I realized that I hadn't shot an outro for this video, so I came out and got the shots of the asparagus. And, you know, looking kind of crazy. My gray patch is showing really well, but I just wanted to thank you for joining me for this video. We've got a whole lot of new Beautiful Mess family members here, and I'm super excited about that. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here, and thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.